It's been a cold start to the year, with some tough growing conditions. Rodent damage and losses due to the cold weather. It seems these last 2 winters have brought more challenges than I remember before. Maybe we're more connected to nature and the seasons than in the past. And because each year we're becoming more self-sufficient and reliant on the beautiful food that we have the opportunity to grow. Come on then, love. Hi folks, and welcome to our wintry January vlog, where I'm going to share a few of the things we've been up to over this cold period of the year. So we have got some pretty exciting things going on with our workshop and storage shed right now. And since I last filmed up here towards the end of last year, Dan has now finished all of the beautiful cladding on the front and added an extra window, and it's looking really, really nice. And yeah, we've also got some really exciting stuff going on inside. It is all a work in progress, but I'm just gonna take you in there for a quick look. Dan is busily working away.
Hi.
And it looks like a bit of a bomb site at the moment, but all of our food crops are doing really well in here. And yeah, we've had to have a bit of a move around because Dan is in here doing a very important job. What are you up to, Dan?
Well, I'm just installing the cables ready for have some plug sockets in here, because this is going to be like a dual purpose place. Have a workbench in here, and yeah, so nice to have the electricity coming up from solar. So I'm just putting the wires through. My dad's an electrician, so luckily he's kind of handy because he can sort me out with all these kind of cables and things.
And make sure it's all done properly for us as well.
Yeah, I'll just put it through the walls and that, and then he can install it when he comes. And just been putting the plug sockets, the backing bits onto the ply boards, which will go back on the walls in a minute.
And yeah, you might have seen in one of our previous videos when Dan had fitted this lovely log burner in here, and this has been an absolute gem so far. So even last night when it was down to about -4 outside, we still stayed at about 2 degrees in here, and we hadn't put any wood on this log burner since about 5 p.m. the night before. So we're really happy with that. If you guys haven't seen any of our previous videos, we retrofitted insulation to this shed as a big project for last year. And you can see behind me here, it's just like a silver foil insulation that we used. It was quite cost effective. We don't get really extreme conditions here in the south. Yeah, -4, -5 is as low as it normally gets. And we only usually get that for a few days each winter. But we liked the idea of this silver foil because it just came in big rolls and it was easy to handle. And so being that we were retrofitting this shed that was already built, it just made it a little bit of an easier product to use.
The thermometer here, I've only just had it really just ticking over with a few bits in. It's 12 degrees and it's around like, it must be 0 or -2 out there now, isn't it? And we've still got these massive gaps all around the door, so all the heat's going out, but it's still keeping it above freezing at night time, which is great. This log burner, it's like completely oversized. I can't remember now if it's like 8 or 10 kilowatt hours or something, because it's quite a big cast iron bit on it. But it's got quite a small chamber compared to the other one we've got, but I've just been using this. It's softwood, but I've got it for free, and it's cypress wood, and it's actually, yeah, really good. So I have to cut it quite small to get it in there, but yeah, it's got some nice fabrics in there, and it, yeah, the kind of rocks around I did really holds on to the heat. So
that was one of the reasons you did that, wasn't it? To create like a thermal mass.
That's it, yeah. So in the evening time, it really kind of holds onto it.
And it looks absolutely beautiful as well. So
yeah,
good job, good
got
job.
like a small section first of the single pipe going into the double wall there when it goes through the wall. So you can kind of like touch this and it's not that hot. It's pretty cool.
So another really exciting thing that we've got going on right now in here is that we are chitting our extra early potatoes, and we've got some down here, and then we've got some more varieties up here, and I think we've got 4 different varieties on the go, which we'll share more about in a video that we do when we're planting the potatoes. But these ones are going to be going into our polytunnels, and we tried that for the first time last year, and it worked really well because it meant we got extra early new potatoes to harvest in May. So yeah, looking forward to getting those in the ground, but we have got quite a bit of work to do in our polytunnels to get them ready for that. So that is going to be a job that we're getting to really soon. And the other thing that I wanted to share with you guys, which I'm super excited about, is that I'm about to have a harvest of oyster mushrooms from in here. And we did 2 buckets of mushrooms back in November at the same time. And I was a bit worried that we wouldn't have enough heat for these mushrooms to grow at this time of year. And I had literally forgotten about them and given up on them. And then one day I was just rolling out my yoga mat up here because we also use this space as a yoga space right now. And then I could just see loads of little mushrooms popping out of the bucket. So that was super exciting. And I'm actually going to harvest these now because although they normally grow a lot bigger in the summer, I'm noticing that they're starting to get some discoloration on them, and they've been growing very slowly at this time of year. So I think it's better to cut our losses and harvest them while they're small. Yeah, so on some of these bigger mushrooms here, I've noticed that just the last couple of days, they're starting to yellow a little bit. So yep, I'm going to harvest them, and we are going to be enjoying oyster mushrooms for dinner tonight. So I've got my little harvest basket here, and I'll take these bigger clumps off. And if you've seen some of our previous videos, you might know that mushrooms is something that we are really excited to try and grow for ourselves because it's one of the few vegetables or fresh produce that we still buy in. So yeah, this isn't quite the consistent volumes that we would like to be growing yet, but it is definitely a step in the right direction and a real novelty. So we are really going to enjoy these. And they are just so beautiful and interesting. I just find them absolutely fascinating, and I have so much to learn about mushrooms yet. And I've just come into our other tunnel where we've got all of our lovely salad growing, and if some of the plants have defrosted enough now that we've got some sunshine, I'm hoping that I might be able to find us a little bit of fresh spinach to go with the mushrooms that I'm going to cook up tonight. It's been pretty cold in here over the last few days, and the salad really does wilt when you see the frost on it. But it's amazing how quickly it bounces back when it gets the sun on it. And we've got this kind of frost cloth which is called thermocrop, and it's a little bit more durable than regular frost cloth we find. And we get that from gardening naturally. So yeah, really nice product. We like this one. And the other place that often gets really overlooked in our videos is our net house where we have all of our brassicas. And again, because we've had a little bit of sun in here today, these guys have bounced back quite nicely, but they have been looking really sorry over the last few days, like this one here. And last year we did actually lose quite a lot of our brassicas, particularly our purple sprouting broccoli, when we had 10 days of frost. Here's one of our purple sprouting broccoli plants. But hopefully it won't be as cold for as long this year and we won't get as many losses. It was nice to be in the polytunnel on a warm sunny day for some much needed cleaning. I'm very grateful that Dan's mum loves jobs like this. She was cleaning the other side. Having her help motivates me to get on with jobs like this. We do the insides first, then start on the outsides when it's a little warmer. Following the run of frosts, I'm giving our salad plants a bit of a tidy up and assessing the damage now that everything is thawed out. We've probably lost around 30% of our actual lettuce plants, but the mustards are all good. And this is a perfect example of why we grow so much more than we actually need. And I'm getting a really good harvest today to lighten the load on the plants so that if we get more frosts, they're not so weighed down. We had another visit from one of our resident rats a few nights ago too. They obliterated all of the kale plants we had down here for the hungry gap, and they munched all of the leaves off of our parsley, chervil, coriander and dill. The herbs will grow back in time, but not the kale. Sorting out, organising and planning our seed sowing is always an important job for January, and of course ordering any new seeds that we need. So I'm just slowly working my way around all of the fruit bushes and fruit trees in our food forest and just clearing away any bramble or the dry grass that's been coming up through all of these gooseberries. And then we've got a load of mulch, and I'm going around and putting a good layer of mulch underneath all of the trees and shrubs. And yeah, I'm just getting out and trying to do a few whenever time and the weather allows. So my last little job for today is to harvest us some lovely crunchy yacon to go with the beautiful fresh salad that I picked from the polytunnel earlier for our dinner tonight. And I'm going to pull this plant up here and see what the harvest is like on it. Oh my gosh, there's tubers right here already. Hopefully they haven't been damaged by the frost. They have had a good layer of wood chip on top, but it's amazing actually how much this wood chip's broken down already since we put it on in November. And I'll just bring you in for a closer look so you can see the tubers that I've started exposing from literally just pulling back the wood chips. Oh my gosh, look at the size of that tuber. That is amazing. We love yacon, absolutely love it. So that is actually more than enough yacon than we need for us for the next few days. So what I'm actually going to do is just cover this plant back up now, because that will save me having to harvest the rest of the tubers and also deal with replanting and dividing all of the rhizomes. So yeah, I'm just going to put this all back under the wood chips now. So all that lovely mulch will help to keep this plant and the tubers protected from any further frost that we get until we are ready to harvest some more of it. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what we've been up to over the last few weeks here. We would massively appreciate if you can give this video a thumbs up. We love hearing from you as well, so any comments and questions down below. And both of these things also help us to get our videos seen by more people, which would be amazing. Happy gardening, guys, and we'll catch you here again soon. Peace and plants.